shocked the internet by revealing his mom, Jada, sold him to Diddy.
But then there's more, because while we were glued to our phones, expecting some sort of press release from Homeland Security or new updates from the Diddy case, Jaden Smith shocked the internet by calling out his parents and exposing his mom for handing him over to Diddy to be abused. At this point, nothing surprises me anymore because the news out of Hollywood in the past few days has been nothing short of jaw-dropping. While lots of celebrities have been exposed in the past few days, word going around is that several celebrities are going to come out to talk about their experience with Diddy, but then Jaden Smith calling out his mother for selling him out to Diddy is the last thing we were expecting, but then Jada Smith handing her son over to Diddy to be is shocking.
There's a lot of talk about drama in the entertainment business, and I have to say, it sounds interesting. The Smiths learned some shocking things, and Jaden wants to get Diddy. We all know that the Smith kids had a strange childhood, but this new information really blows our minds.
And then he's going to be prepared, and when it comes, because he knows about it and other.
Prepare yourself for an explosive revelation involving Jaden Smith, his father Will Smith, and P Diddy. You might recall a particular incident where Will Smith displayed paternal affection towards his son during an interview. However, this wasn't your typical father-son moment. No, it involved a kiss on the lips, and needless to say, Jaden was visibly embarrassed. This incident played out in front of the world, further fueling the already burning rumors. But that's not all. Rumors started surfacing about Jaden's concerns regarding the relationship between Diddy and his dad, something that seemed to worry Jaden. An insider whispered through the grapevine.
Say what now? A nigga finna get loose. Huh? A nigga finna get loose. Huh? A nigga finna get loose. Huh? A nigga finna get loose.
You told me before that you was at a party before that they attended, and you said the party.
The buzz, well, Jaden Smith talks about how Diddy lied to and tricked him. He is now breaking the quiet on the case and is about to put Diddy on the spot. There has been talk about Diddy and Will for a long time, but now it looks like Jaden might be entering the picture, which was a big surprise. Everyone is talking about this juicy Hollywood story, and more action is still to come. People, keep your eyes open, because this story is about to get messy.
Deep-rooted they are in hip-hop is something that my parents were aware of, and they made us aware of it before, we even found out from other people that there was this expectation of it.
Jaden, come on.
I'm not.
He said, yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up.
It's generally known that both Diddy and the Smiths have been associated with some dubious mentorship practices, drawing aspiring artists into their circles under questionable circumstances. Jaguar Wright even shed light on what allegedly happened at the Smiths' residence, particularly concerning younger people in the industry.
I mean, are we really surprised that Will and Jada are to blame? Haven't we been saying this exact thing for years?
But Jaden's kind of MIA, and considering that he emancipated from their household at 16 and refused to come back, even to do family interviews.
Right.
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship.
Some people compare these influential figures, implying that their mentorship may do more harm than good, while Will and Jada are busy with other aspiring talents. Jaden is building close ties with Diddy.
Deep-rooted they are in hip-hop is something that my parents were aware of, and they made us aware of it before, we even found out from other people that there was this expectation of it.
Jaden, come on.
Recently, there have been swirling reports about investigations delving into Diddy's interactions with younger individuals, and now, with the release of footage featuring Justin Bieber, it's safe to say things are escalating quickly, adding another layer to the already tangled web. Rumors have emerged about Usher and Diddy sharing living quarters for a year, sparking speculation. Whispers about Diddy's alleged efforts to involve other individuals in intimate activities have circulated, though no concrete proof has been presented. Nevertheless, he seems to make considerable effort to keep these purported shenanigans under wraps.
Knew that I was very unhappy, but just couldn't figure out why. because everybody thought how I thought. You've got everything. What is wrong with you?
They had seen the attacks that their mom had gotten from all of it, and they really hoped people could just move on. Another source said that Will and Jada put their children in a very strange and uncomfortable situation, telling the Daily Mail they were constantly asked about their parents, and for 7 years they had to basically lie to everyone and pretend that everything was perfectly fine when they knew it was not. This made them extremely agitated at times, and they would constantly get in fights with each other and with them. According to the source, Jaden Smith in particular found it hard to cope with the issues surrounding his parents' marriage, and they said Jaden has had so many issues with them, and this has always really been hard for him to deal with.
And who's caught up in the middle of all this mess? None other than Will Smith's son Jaden. He's been living by the motto that age is just a number because he's been cozying up to Diddy despite his parents not knowing the full amount of what's been happening.
Attorney, former prosecutor Bernardo Villalona. Bernardo, there's this footage showing Diddy's sons detained with federal agents surrounding them. Based on what you can see here, does this appear to meet the legal standard for excessive use of force?
No, not at all. In terms of how they were stopped and how they were detained, you have to think that when officers are going in to execute a search warrant, and I've written numerous search warrants as a former prosecutor, and they've been gone out to execute a search warrant as part of the officers. In terms of how it was executed and the force that they used, they immediately tried to detain any individuals that are inside of the home, and that's to just make sure they, one, identify who they are, but number two, and primarily the reason is for their own safety, the safety of the individual, as well as the safety of law enforcement. Again, we do not know what is the information that law enforcement had before going in to execute that search warrant. But a sign this shows me is that they had information that it's possible that the individuals that are inside of that house could be armed.
And Diddy has not been charged with a crime, so if the investigators here and the prosecutors here decide charges are warranted, is there any sense of how long that could take after a raid like this?
It could take weeks, it could take months. And the reason why is because they gathered so much evidence, supposedly they gathered so many videos and laptops and also electronic devices, and they have to now conduct a forensic investigation of those items and to see what are on those items. And first off, they have to ask whether they have the passcodes to those items, because not having the passcodes could create a delay in investigating those items. But then aside from that, once they are able to get into those items, they're going to continue to build from that and see where the evidence leads them.
All right, Bernardo Villalona, always great to have you. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.
That news got to him, he actually pulled some strings and got her fired from her job. She claims she received a photo of a man allegedly pulling Diddy's shorts down while he was on vacation in Cancun. Wendy actually was fired from her.
Wendy Williams, she got fired from Hot 97 because she had a picture of Puffy. So if you don't mind, give me the story from your point of view and what was in the picture.
We were in Cancun. For whatever reason, dude was playing with Puff. He went behind him and grabbed his trunks and pulled them down. Some girls that was taking pictures. They took that picture and emailed it back to Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams said she had him in a compromising position and like it was gay, something like that. She was gonna put it out. Wendy had shown people that email. Puff told Hot 97 if they didn't get rid of her before he got back in New York, that they was not gonna get any music from any of his friends, any of the record labels executives that was cool with him. Everybody was gonna boycott their station. We was out in LA for about 3 days before we landed back in New York.
And she stood up for herself against Diddy.
Yes, it's very effeminized, but be very clear. There were lots of homosexuals in hip hop back in the 80s too. You know, that was, you know, what's worse, you know, hip hop wearing skirts or hip hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood that, you know, and denial of something that you shouldn't have to deny, which is your sex.
Diddy's sexual orientation has been a topic of much discussion, with people like Wendy Williams dropping hints here and there. Williams once pondered whether it's more detrimental for hip-hop to embrace non-traditional masculinity or for individuals to remain closeted while trying to assert their manhood through fathering numerous children, adding fuel to the fire. Wendy and Diddy have been involved in a highly publicized feud during which she accused him of trying to sabotage her career to silence her. The latest revelation comes from Diddy's former bodyguard, who has allegedly shared details about his ex-boss's alleged involvement with other men. The more unconventional aspects of Diddy's personal life are starting to surface, while no names have been disclosed. History has shown that even the most closely hidden secrets have a way of emerging over time.
I found it's like, just divorce can't be an option, right? It's really that simple. Just if you just remove the option, because if you have the option, one day that person is gonna make you
option.
I made a promise that there will never be a reason for us to get a divorce. We will work through whatever, and I just haven't been able to break that promise.
Insiders suggest that Will has been grappling with unsettling rumors that could tarnish his family's image. However, it's worth noting that he picked Jada as his life partner, and she's always been known for her outspoken nature. Recently, she made headlines by revealing that their marriage had faced major challenges, even leading to separation in 2016.
Kiss my son. Jaden, come on.
Jada has always been the more open-minded member of the family, while Will has been trying to keep up appearances for the sake of his public image, but despite their struggles, they've kept the drama train going for the public.
On the kids as well. And even Will once tried to admit that he felt guilty for some parenting choices he and Jada had made. He didn't specifically refer to any intimate mistreatment related to his son Jaden, but rather left his fans wondering with a cryptic message. Yeah, I think it may have been a mistake. I think we may have gone too far. Apparently, Jaden was introduced to the wild lifestyle that most celebrities were experiencing with Diddy, and knowing the sickening details of the music mogul hosting adult-themed parties dubbed freak-offs, which were attended by a slew of celebrities, including Will and Jada, it may raise suspicions about what Jaden has been forced into in his early years.
I would say certain things like, oh, but I can't do it. And my dad would be like, what did you just say?
However, both Jaden and Willow has nothing to say against Will. It feels like Jada was the one pulling the strings and making big parenting decisions, which had a negative influence on her kids and wrecked her minds. As one person wrote on social media, we cannot keep wondering what's wrong with these kids anymore. We know, and it's not just the industry. And another internet user added, she said Jaden wouldn't listen and left at 15 years old, and they said they decided to let him go. And folks, let me remind you about that shocking story when Jaden Smith was so tired of Jada's sick parenting that he went directly to his dad and asked him to be emancipated. At 15 years old, when Jaden asked about being an emancipated minor, my heart shattered. He ultimately decided against it, but it sucks to feel like you've hurt your kids.
But in the end, Jaden chose to stick it out and ride the wave of his father's rise in the industry. Who knows what the future holds for the Smith clan, but one thing's for sure, there's never a dull moment with them around.
Needed that validation to have that type of woman.
You saw her say that Will Smith had a small dick.
Well, I am saying to you, if a woman is used to something the size of a baby leg and you come in with a pinky toe, there's nothing you can do to please her. You can buy her 80 cars, you can get her 80 private jets. If she's itching for that baby leg, she want that baby leg. You can beat a person so much that they fall into submission. So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having sex with Will.
And when you think things couldn't get any messier, Jada Pinkett Smith seems to be adding fuel to the fire, pointing at Will's shortcomings as a husband and father. It's a difficult situation all around.
He has to look at me and see what I need. And we have to make decisions based on that, not based on what people think.
The Smith family has a penchant for getting involved in drama. Initially, there were reports surrounding Jada's entanglement with August Alsina, and now fresh claims have appeared regarding Jaden's connection to Diddy, with speculation suggesting that Jada may have introduced them. It's all rather chaotic and certainly not just child's play. Jaguar's perspective on family dynamics gives another layer to this unfolding record.
He told me that you knew Will was f***ing your child. Yes, he did. Wonder why he left that out of his Tasha K interview.
Yeah, in that interview, he said a lot.
He said a lot.
He said everything but the thing that was important. That he know that Will Smith, Jaden, he ran Meek Mills, and you know it, Bilal. Now I don't give no how far in the desert you run. You'll go from a Philly nigga to a sand, but they'll still get you.
He's Philly though, Jazz. Philly.
You know, he Meek Milk. As far as I'm concerned, he Meek Milk. I ain't calling him Mill no more. That's milk. That's Meek Milk. Added to the honeycomb. You got a meal.
It's a lot to unpack, and there's always more trouble waiting around the corner with this family.
Yeah. Come on. Jaden.
To that relationship for years of my life, you know, and I truly and really, really deeply loved and have a ton of love for her.
Jaden Smith's upbringing within the Smith home has been anything but conventional, with a culture of permissiveness prevailing. As Will Smith stated in a 2013 interview, their approach has been focused on giving their children as much autonomy as possible. However, as recent events unfold and hidden truths surface, this laid-back attitude may have yielded unintended effects. Jaden's revelation at a conference regarding mind-altering substances apparently implicating his mother in their use within the family sheds light on the repercussions of such a permissive upbringing. The implications of Jaden's purported participation with Diddy raise questions about accountability and the darker facets of Hollywood amidst it all one undeniable truth remains the entertainment business